going on, guys? My name is Doug. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. I'm really glad that you guys decided to tune in today because we're going to be listening to Limbo by Aminé. Some people call him Amine. I'm pretty sure that the correct pronunciation is Aminé or something along those lines. I don't think that last E is silent because it's got an accent on it. Yeah, we're going to be doing that today, but this is something I'm super excited about. I really have to get this out of the way first before we get into the video. I have a partnership, actually, for the first time on this channel. With a company called Vivid Lines Apparel. They are a really cool company. They make really dope clothes. They actually made this shirt that I'm wearing right now in the video. And I'm gonna read off their website what their purpose is, and then I'll get into a little bit more of what they do and what some of their clothes look like. Super excited about this, man. So this is off of vividlinesapparel.com. I will drop a link to their website in the description, but it says right here, our purpose. We love rap lyrics that paint a vivid picture, so we want to connect people like us through clothing inspired by some of those lyrics. Current collections are inspired by Drake, Kendrick Lamar, and Travis Scott. Future drops will celebrate J. Cole, Kanye, and others. Thanks for stopping by. So they have a really cool idea where basically they'll take, for example, this is one of the Travis Scott shirts, right? It's got the Hollywood sign, a couch, and it says on a flight now. So they took that lyric from Oh My Decide, right? I'm on a flight now. And they basically made a little image that kind of has the mood of that track on it with a really cool little stylized, like actual written lyric on the shirt. And it's got a really cool little Vivid Lines logo right there. And all their shirts are basically in the same style, very clean, very neat, all black with a white image and then their logo on the left arm. I'm gonna be putting up some images on screen of some of their other collections. Like I said, they have Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and Travis Scott inspired clothes. So right here we have one that says, I'ma get it granny, with this really cool image on it, which is from 90210. They have this rollin' one, which I think is pretty dope. They have the way too formal one. I think it says, yeah, way too formal. This shit way too formal. Y'all know I don't follow suit. And it's got like the different suits on the cards. Really creative. I think that's really dope. And then some of the Drake ones as well. They also gave me this shirt, which is a Drake one. It's got these lyrics from No Tellin' on it, which is the I go hunting, put heads on my fireplace, right? Thinking they lions and tigers and bears. I go hunting, put heads on my fireplace. I chose that one because I think that that's one of the really dope bars off that track, and I think it's got a really cool design to it. They also have this polos and backpack ones, right? Then Kanye dropped. They have the Drake featuring Drake from 5 a.m. in Toronto, which is really dope. It's got like the owl's eye on it, very stylized, very cool. So guys, I mean, seriously, they've got a bunch of other shirts as well on their website. And like they said, they're going to be honoring J. Cole and Kanye with their future collections. So I just think that this is a really dope idea. The shirts look great. The designs are really clean. And it's something that fits very well with the content of the channel. And it's hip hop stuff. So you guys, the viewers, are also going to enjoy it. So yeah, I'm really excited about this partnership. You guys are probably going to be seeing me in these shirts in quite a few videos. And yeah, something I'm super excited about. And yeah, just be sure to check them out. You know, I'm sure that they're going to be adding more and more stuff to their catalog. And man, I'm a huge fan of their style, seriously. So like I said, there's a link in the description to the website if you want to check that out. It's really dope. So do yourself a favor, get yourself a Vivid Lines Apparel shirt. And yeah, that's the little plug that I want to do before we jump into this album. Also, you can support the channel, you know, through Patreon, becoming a member, following my social media, things like that. That would be really dope as well. Super grateful for all the support that you guys have shown on there. And with that said, let's get into Limbo by Aminé. The first track is Burden. Let me see if I wanted to make sure that the shirt didn't go like behind the bed or something. Completely ruins the bid if I have to turn around and check on the shirt, but I had to do that. So
this is like some shit you go and pick your homie up from jail with.
Don't bury me till niggas is certain. I'm singing. So black album, like Sean Carter. Screaming like I'm Rico. You know, shabby ass niggas with the Louis shades. Niggas getting years, maybe 10 and up. Soccer moms do the same. Bury me before I'm a bird. Don't bury me.
All right, so for the intro track here, we don't really have a whole lot of energy. It's really kind of a laid back vibe. It's got that really interesting little sample. I think that the sample might be a little overpowering. When it happens during his verses, I think that the sample could be a little bit quieter. I like the little groove that the drum, the guitar, and the bass have going on. You know, they have a really little soulful kind of vibe to it. It's a cool little intro. The lyrics are really the best part of the song, honestly. Talking about, some of the different situations that he found himself in growing up, talking about some of the different hardships that he faced during his life, and really just getting some things off his chest that are very personal and kind of letting us get to know him a little bit better. So I like that about this track, and I think that that's a dope way to introduce yourself on an album like this. But yeah, I was expecting a little bit more energy from the track, if I'm being honest. It wasn't what I was expecting, but I'm also not disappointed by it. It's a really cool little intro. Woodlawn is next. Hey! Is that a recorder? Yeah. It was like a dad to a nigga, so I'm sad. Came a long way from that Woodlawn Park. Now I can Amine pushing push. This is fire. So hard that I make a hate nigga do the motherfucking bitch face. That's on my playlist. I love this beat. So I think that it's really interesting that there are a little bit of some arpeggiated strings going on that are really muffled and mixed very low in this track to kind of provide that bass for the rest of the track to be built on top of. That little recorder melody is really, really cool. But the fact that there's this constant arpeggiated little melody underneath it is really driving this track forward. The bass line is very dope. It kind of sounds a lot like some of Jetson Maid's 808s, and the way that he does his bass lines. It's got a lot of bounce to it. Love the drum pattern on this. The bounce is really there. It's really great. He makes great use of it with his flow. I love that he shouts out Kobe Bryant on this track and pays a little bit of respect and some homage to him. The hook is really catchy. The track is just fun to listen to, man. It's kind of a banger, so I added it to my playlist. I like that one a lot. Track 3 seems like it's an interlude. It's 40 seconds long, and it's titled Kobe. So is this gonna put us in our feels? Maybe.
He died, and I feel like a lot of my innocence and I felt like a piece of my childhood go with that nigga. And I completely
Yeah, I feel that. He's 26, I'm 23. He's only 3 years older than I am. And I can definitely relate to the feeling of having a really major part of your childhood just kind of taken away with his passing. Because as a kid, I wasn't hugely into basketball, but I was into it. I liked watching the Celtics games every now and then, especially when they played the Lakers. There was this huge rivalry, and I would just resent the fact that Kobe Bryant would kill us. He was genuinely just unstoppable, And yeah, we won every now and then, and we beat them in the finals, and sure, but there was always this sense of never being comfortable until the game was over, even if you had the lead, because Kobe Bryant was on the other team. And there was just this major portion of just watching him growing up that was just ripping me in half when I found out the news that he was gone. So I totally relate to that, man. And feeling all of a sudden, you're in a sudden realization that you're an adult because he passed away. It's very strange to describe it that way, but I totally get where he's coming from. Yeah, it's really sad. And a little bit of an interlude to help us get into, his mindset and get to know him personally a little bit better as well. I like that. Roots featuring Jid and Charlie Wilson is next, dude. This is a crazy combination. Let's go.
It's like a bass got a curse, yeah. Self keep ticking on me like I'm 6'1", getting cold. The niggas grab your Patagonia. So I told me I'm not a succulent, a sucker, baby girl.
This production's really beautiful. Yeah.
Divided, choose a side where you belong. Keep the lights on. I can see you stand.
Yo, Jid's going crazy. I love the way this is arranged. Those lyrics, the vocals go so crazy. Yeah, let's go. I love how that ended. Those vocals go so nuts, dude. Not a really crazy, energetic song, not a very heavy, kind of in-your-face drum pattern. Everything about it is just so comfortable. It's so laid back. The drums are just so kind of spacey. They leave so much room in the track for arrangements and other instrumentation and lyrics and vocals, you know, and the Charlie Wilson with his layered vocals sounds awesome in this. Some of the orchestration in the background with the strings and the glistening, you know, keys just shimmering, they're just beautiful, you know. The instrumentation on this is really well done. And then of course Aminé and Jid's verses go really well. They fit very nicely on this vibe, and Charlie Wilson is just legendary on this. Like, I think it's a great track. I added it to my playlist, and yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Like, I genuinely have no complaints for that one, so that's really dope. Can't Decide is next. Let's go. This is pretty fire. I wasn't a huge fan of it. This is only the second time that I'm hearing this chorus in this track. Already it sounds a little bit better. Already I can see myself kind of singing along to it, which means I know that if I listen to this track 2 or 3 more times, I'm going to be obsessed with this chorus, and I'm going to be like singing all the lyrics to it, and it's going to be stuck in my head. And at first it was a little tough to get into the little kind of like falsetto soft performance, but it really fits the rest of the track, you know, and it totally makes sense. So the track is growing on me on my first listen. Like as the track goes on, it's growing on me. So that's really interesting. It's a very interesting experience. Those little guitars are so great, and I love the sample too. He sounds fire, bro. Like, he's killing it. You know, he's doing his thing. It's already, I'm singing along to it. Yeah, that's a playlist track too. Is that a Young Thug feature on the next track I see? Let's go. Yeah, so that track really grew on me as I listened to it. By the end, I was singing along to the chorus. That's really fun. I like the way it sounds. I added it to my playlist because I was already a fan of the production. It was really his performance, though, that ended up selling me on the track. It's a really fun song. It's kind of got like a club vibe to it. You know, I can see people dancing to this one and really grooving and vibing and really just feeling it and having a good time. So I like that there's a little bit of a mixture of deep and personal lyrics and just kind of like fun vibes as well on this project. I think that he's really mixing and matching very well, you know, with the styles of music on here. So I'm excited about this, man. I think that this is really sounding great so far. We're almost halfway through. Track 6 is Compensating, and it's got a Young Thug feature, so I'm excited.
But it makes you feel it. Trying things you thought would change. Go with me since I was a small fry. And your ex-man, that's my little guy.
These little melodies, Young Thug's gonna kill it. Love the bass line. Oh! Hey!
I eat a little cheese like snack, baby.
Great verse, yo. Young Thug is awesome. Young Thug is going stupid, bro. This is really dope. He's on a very solid run here. Yeah, my cheeks hurt from smiling, man. Seriously, like that Young Thug verse just put me in such a good mood. Seriously, like I don't know what other artist sounds like that on a track, you know, who can just come in and legit just sound like they're having a blast. Like, he just sounds like he's having a good time being on this song, you know? And some other artists can give you that, but Young Thug, he just comes in and makes this feel like a party, you know? He just comes in and he's just like, my lyrics don't really matter, I feel good, and I'm gonna just enjoy performing on this song. It's just what it sounds like, and it's just such a joy to listen to. It's so fun. Especially when he came back in with that little falsetto kind of delivery. Like, it's so fresh, it's so unique to him, you know? Like, someone else couldn't have pulled that off the way that he did. He's just such a force in the industry. Like, he's just so special, honestly. To deny that he has been extremely influential is just to be completely ignorant of you know, hip-hop and the way that it is nowadays. He's just a treasure, seriously. Protect Young Thug at all costs. Amine killed his performance on this. Like, the production is super fun, it's super youthful and kind of like bouncy and really playful little melodies going on. There's even like a kind of West Coast lead going on in the background, a little bit quieter than the actual major, keyboard melody that's really just kind of like whistling in the background. It sounds super cool. The bass line's super fun. And super is one of my favorite adjectives. I mean, this is a really cool song, man. Seriously. Such a blast to listen to. And I think that this is like the 4th song in a row on this project that's made it onto my playlist. So he is on a roll here. Track 7, Shimmy.
Yeah, my nigga, let's not front.
I just realized sometimes his voice kind of sounds like Pusha T. It's a good thing. I like it. Pusha T has a very classic voice. Like, it's super iconic. So I like that his voice is a little similar.
You know what's the deal, my nigga? A lot of y'all fake flex, nigga. That is not your necklace. Now see how easy lying is. It's easy to forget this.
I love those chorus, like the choirs in the background.
I'm looking like wealth. Y'all niggas pay up and thirsty. You thought you made a handle, but you just say you a Fergie to make.
I love this drum pattern.
Shimmy, y'all niggas get.
The bass is so heavy. I'm in love with it. Really dope, dude. I love that there's like a really loud, aggressive, in-your-face kind of boom bap feeling to this track. The drum patterns are so sick. Like they've just got the bounce to it, but also the really like abrasive, crunchy drum sounds that just really like, I don't know, they're so hard. They kind of like, they get you pumped and like ready to, I don't know, run through a brick wall or something. Like they're just, for anybody who is a fan of rap, this drum pattern is going to get you going. It's going to give you this energy, you know, it's just kind of like a sinister kind of feeling to it, especially with those choirs in the background. Like that sample was just so brilliant. Oh shoot, is she gonna start barking? Please don't. Come on. Well, Shimmy is great, and we're about halfway through, so I'm gonna take a little break and wait for her to stop barking, and then I'll be back real soon. So, Pressure in My Palms, featuring Slow Tie and Vince Staples. Let's go.
Okay, that's the cuss, so I calm down, nigga. We don't wanna hear your mixtape, my nigga. It's Matt Barnes for Derek Fisher, caught you niggas in it. I hate when niggas don't finish, they fuck. Minister Society, or more from Weasley. It's a gynecology, your pussy. Yeah, I do it big.
The intro to his verse is a little weird. This is a really long little breakdown.
You niggas think you running shit, but running in place. I'm taking the base. Yeah, you wouldn't understand it. Hola, yeah, nigga feel Spanish. Homie, we major.
Hey.
Come on, homie, we major. The ice.
It's dope. You know, it's not bad. Yeah, Pressure in My Palms isn't bad. I think that the intro to that second verse was kind of a little weird, and I think that the breakdown to get into the song switch up kind of took up too much of the track, and it went on for a little too long. So I would have preferred a more efficient way to really have that switch up happen, and or to at least make the way that it is now be a little more interesting by adding some layers to it or some vocals to it or something like that, just to really grab my attention and keep me there during that little breakdown, because you started to lose me a little bit before the third verse started up. So those are really just the really only 2 complaints that I have about this track. I think that the rest of it's pretty dope. I didn't add it to my playlist just yet, but maybe on a second or third listen, if it grows on me, I'll add it for sure. Right now, I just think it's good, not great, and we'll see how I feel about it. How I feel about it later. Track 9 is Riri. I know he released this a while ago. I didn't hear it, so we're gonna listen to it now. Hey.
Don't act like you perfect. You know that we both got some baggage.
That bass is crazy.
I was trying to too fine, but I bet you the bullet and roulette.
Hey.
I'm east side. Wasn't with me since I had the.
That's fire.
Shout out to Lola, that Gucci is what it's designing. Creases.
Yeah, so my fear for that track is that it isn't really going to be memorable, in my opinion. Like, I heard it once, and I don't know that tomorrow I'm going to remember the song, you know? I'm going to remember, you know, some of these other tracks, like Compensating or Roots, you know, Can't Decide. Like, I'm gonna remember those tracks. I don't know that I'll remember Riri. And it doesn't mean it's a bad song. It was well executed, and it was fun to listen to, you know, and it was performed pretty well. It was an enjoyable song to listen to. It's a really easy listen. I don't know that it's more than that, you know? I really have to listen to it again to get a better grasp on it. Just because right now, I think it's a good song. and that's really about it. Like Pressure in My Palms, you know? I think it's a good song. I'm not mad at it, but it's not sticking out to me, you know? Track 10 is Easy featuring Summer Walker.
I'm singing R.I.P.
Oh, those horns. The guitar and bass are really dope too. Yeah, that's great. Love those guitars.
But you hear me out. That's why I always run your mouth.
It's got a really feel-good vibe to it. All right, yeah, that's a really dope song. I love Summer Walker's performance on there. I think her voice is heavenly as always. I do wish that the track were maybe 30 seconds shorter, maybe 15. You know, it doesn't have to be much shorter, but I do think that maybe 3:30 is too much for this song in particular. Just because the guitar and the bass, I don't want it to get too repetitive. I don't want to be listening to that on a loop for too long. You know, there wasn't really any sort of like a breakdown or something like that to really switch things up. So just a little shorter would have been a little better in my opinion, but it's not something that I'm going to hold against this song. The fact that it's 3 minutes and 30 seconds of really interesting music. You know, it's got a very strong bass line. It's got really sultry guitars. The nice little groovy drum pattern and really cool performances from Summer Walker and Aminé. So I'm very happy with that. Yeah, it's a really dope song, like I said. And track 11 is Mama.
Mama. Sometimes I miss the days where you take me to school. Used to promise when I'm rich that I would get your favorite whip. You ain't no case.
Yeah.
And it's true that I miss it. Every time I need someone you would listen. Mama, yeah, I'm singing mama. Like, you my favorite person, let's go ahead and make the song cry. And it's true that I miss it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never going to hate on a track that pays tribute to somebody's mother. You know, it's so sweet that he wanted to do this for his mom, and she really seems like a very strong woman to have supported him for so long, working night shifts. I mean, I've worked night shifts before, so I know it's not easy. And I imagine she did that multiple years because she had to, you know, to help provide for him. So, you know, I'm never going to be upset at the fact that there's a tribute track on here to his mother. I think it's very thoughtful, very sweet. And not only that, but it's a well-executed song. Like, it's not a bad track at all, you know? It's not even like it's corny or anything like that. Beside the fact that it's a tribute song, he executed it really well. He got some really cool little choirs in the background, very fun little piano riffs going on, you know? In the background, and he does a really solid job singing on this track and really making it heartfelt and special for his mom. So I like it, you know, and it's not really meant for me, but I think it's sweet and it's really fitting to be on this project where we're kind of getting a glimpse into his thoughts and into his head and getting a little personal. So I like it, and I like that he put it on there. So yeah, that's a really cool little song. Becky is track 12. Let's get it.
Mama said that I will. Notice that we get in restaurants.
Hey.
No, it's not at all, but you know we ain't the same. I'm fed up with the world.
I love the horns, strings, guitars. Perfect. I like this. It's pretty smooth. Love the instruments on this one. Very easy to get lost in too, though. I was zoning out a little bit for sure. And I wasn't even zoning out because it was boring or anything like that. It was just, it transported me somewhere, you know? Like I had this on and it just really took me places. So there's a difference between kind of losing focus because a track is boring and having the track kind of take you somewhere and getting lost in it. And that's kind of what happened here. So I really think it's very smooth and enjoyable. That's a very interesting song for sure. Next track is Fetus featuring Injury Reserve, and I'm very excited to listen to this one, man. I do just want to say rest in peace to Groggs. It's so devastating, you know, losing him, and he was just like way too young to go. So, you know, I wish all his family and friends the best, and you know, it's a shame. Injury Reserve put out one of my favorite projects of last year, and you know, his presence is absolutely going to be missed, sorely missed, especially if they decide to continue making music as Injury Reserve without him. But yeah, just God rest his soul. You know, it's devastating, really. But this is from what I read, a song that he was very happy to finally be a part of because he finally had a feature and a track with Aminé. So We're gonna listen to this, and I'm so excited to hear what it sounds like.
Baby broke, so we don't know what condoms are. The chains my mama gave me clinking like they Dorothy dog. My son will probably see that fire before a fire drill. We coffees like they was Shakira's lips. Yeah, I wanted what she.
The production is always so interesting whenever injury reserve is involved.
For your college funds. The circle of life could make a man feel like the one.
Ended on that scared of our parents shit. See, plan B really gotta be plan B. Time's flying on my mind is playing tricks. Can't believe my baby girl's already turned 6.
The mamba was, but now I'm kinda stuck. Cause what I'm chasing self-possessed. Cause attitude tough enough. Cause man, this game is inconsistent. Yeah, ain't nothing promising. It gloves up and put your tie on. Yeah, have I been wrong? Yeah.
I think we are just so used to life not being valued.
Man, the dog started barking again. That's unfortunate, but I love this song, man. I think it's, you know, very interestingly produced. Lots of very interesting sounds in the background. The drums sound very interesting as well. But just the fact that this is a song about some of the thoughts and fears that go through your mind when you're finding out you're going to be a father, you know, some of the things that you worry about, and really just wanting to be the best father that you can be, the best man that you can be, and realizing that life is about more than just money. It's about family and finding value, you know, actual value in the love that you have for the people around you and things like that. I think that's really great. Although I don't have much love in my heart right now for this neighbor's dog. But yeah, I love the track and everything it's about. Let's go on to track 14, My Reality.
I went from skipping class to making a classic. I'm stepping over niggas and I'm skipping the all dream, but to live this way is
Playing with the auto tune, let's go.
And my fantasies looking like it's reality. God gave me the audacity.
Very interesting way to close out this track, man. Talking about his reality, some of the things that he's able to do now, some of the things that he wasn't able to do before. Having to deal with, you know, rich people problems and having to pay exorbitant amounts in taxes, and, you know, just some of these different things that are happening in his life. I think it's interesting to get a glimpse through his eyes on this track. I like the production on it. I think it's really cool that he added the choirs in the background, like on the back end. And yeah, it's a dope song, you know. It's a really cool song to close us out on this project. Man, this project is really, really good, honestly. Like if I'm being honest, I think it's probably one of the more enjoyable first listens of the year. Definitely an easy project to grasp. Like there's a whole lot that you can dissect in the production and things like that, but it's not like he's loading this thing up with lyrics that are hard to understand, and it's not like he's mumbling all the way through so you can't know what he's saying unless you read the lyrics. Hold on, I'm gonna see if closing this window helps a little bit. This project is just super approachable. Like, all the songs sound so cool, the production's so interesting, and he does a great job at performing on this project and using auto-tune and singing and actually rapping, and the sounds are so varied, and there's a bunch of different little genres he goes into. The features are very strong. Like, there's a very, very solid album. I'm very happy with the way this turned out, and I'm very happy for him, because I saw he was tweeting that the reception for this project has been the best so far that he's gotten, and definitely deserving. This project is great, you know. It's 44 minutes long. It's got 14 tracks. If you haven't heard this, go give it a try. Seriously, you're not going to be let down, because it's thoroughly enjoyable. And there's the vast majority of these tracks made it onto my playlist, which is pretty rare. You know, sometimes I get maybe half of them, but the majority of these made it. Like, they're just so different, so varied, so interesting, so fun to listen to, so deep sometimes. He goes into some personal things, so very enjoyable. And yeah, those are my thoughts on this project. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Be sure to check out vividlinesapparel.com. I'll leave the link in the description. Check them out and get yourself a really dope hip-hop lyric shirt. And I'll be back in another video very soon, guys. Until then, stay safe and peace out.